Hey, what's going on out there, everybody? You are now just tuned into 1969, Your Honor Radio. Topic I was thinking about today, I think we should get into, because actually when we get into this topic, it actually brings on a lot of other topics that should open people's eyes. Sitting here thinking about child support and the meaning of child support, why it was established, child support. And if people don't realize why child support was established, it was actually to control and get rid of the so-called, well, they're not so-called, but to get rid of the brothers and sisters. Actually to make us extinct. That's my philosophy of coming up why child support was invented. I mean, if I'm looking at the so-called, as you heard me say, so-called Jewish community, I've went to court for child support. I haven't seen one of them Jewish, so-called Jewish brothers up in there for child support. Like I said, so-called Jewish. And if you look at, the, I would say, well, Europeans, really not too many. Only reason sometimes I've been in there and I've heard them say their cases is that only reason that the European is up there in there sometime is because they actually missed a payment because they were out of work. If you look at some of the our other brothers and sisters, so-called labeled the Latinos, let's put it for lack of word, like Latino brothers, not too many. I mean, so far the brothers outnumber any other ethnicity, which, in the courtroom when it comes to child support. Not due to lack of responsibility. No, y'all got to understand that this is due to a system set up so we don't create, produce, generate. This is why they set up child support, because they couldn't stop us back. If you look up eugenics, you can go to YouTube and look up eugenics and see that Bill Gates' grandfather, I think it was, I'm not sure if it was his grandfather or his father, actually had something to do with Planned Parenthood. So with that aspect of it, you look at it and you say, well, why are they targeting, most likely the brothers? Why is this set out for the brothers? And here's what I come up with. I come up with it was set out for the brothers, meaning that when they came out with eugenics, which was to actually control the womb of the sister, they couldn't control the womb because we were still going out there doing what we were doing. We were still creating. This is what they didn't want, because they can't get rid of us. They're trying to make us extinct, but they can't get rid of us because they're not original. We know this. So with that, they came up with, well, we'll tack on child support. And if we put the men in jail, this way they can't create if they're in jail for not taking care of their children. Now, it's amazing to me with the studies that I've been open to studying and have a mind that's really open. It's been amazing to me that it's crazy how they can actually put you in jail with criminals. I never knew having a baby and not paying child support was a criminal activity. Who signed off on this? Constitutionally wise, where does it say that you can actually be jailed as a criminal? Because that's the only people that can really be in jail are criminals for not taking care of your child. As I said, your child that, you birthed. You actually, planted the seed, and in the 9 months that it takes, which means number of completions, the number 9 that it took for the child to get here, and now you are by the state required to take care of this child, which you definitely, do have in mind to do. But here's how they tricked you. And if you don't know it, you should know it now. Where they tricked you at is after the 9 months of completion and the baby is now birthed by the mother. They started issuing things called birth certificates in 1930, somewhere around there. That they were playing around with issuing the birth certificates, after the 1929, the Great Depression, the stock market crashed. Okay, so they started issuing birth certificates. My grandfather's 90-something years old. He don't have a birth certificate. He was registered at birth. How did they used to do it back then? I think he said what they did was they had a midwife, and the midwife marked down the time and date, and they put that in the Bible to show birth. Now you have today. After, I think, 1930, they were experimenting with it before they pledged the citizens as collateral to the banking systems, 13 banking systems. So with that, brothers, I say, child support, when they couldn't control our reproduction rate, what they did was say, let's put child support on them and put a scare tactic into us. Now we're actually scared to go out here and create and to keep our generations going. Why? Because brothers are scared to go to jail for 7 days because now they're going to have to pay child support. Why would you have to pay child support on your child? Oh, I know why you will have to most likely pay child support. Because you signed on that you would take care of this child. But do we know the little secret behind the birth certificate? Let me explain it to you. Go look it up if you don't know. The birth certificate actually is an instrument that actually starts a bond. As soon as that child is named, it is sent off to a place in Pennsylvania. And that actually starts the bond on that child. Birth certificate actually proves that you actually gave up the rights of that child. Yes, at that time you were saying that you were incapable of handling the responsibilities of raising that child when they tricked you into signing a birth certificate or a birth registry. We all know what register means. If you have a vehicle and you register it with the state of New Jersey, you already know that that is not your vehicle. It belongs to the state of New Jersey. Just as a birth certificate, when you registered your child with the state of New Jersey, the state of New Jersey actually, well, I'm saying New Jersey because that's where I'm from, the state of New Jersey actually claimed the rights to that child. Now, there you have it right there. That child does not belong to you once you sign that birth certificate. I don't know how much plainer and easier I can make this for people who might want to sit there and argue that, no, I carried that baby for 9 months. Yeah, but you carried it for 9 months, but as soon as you registered it, it became and belongs to the state. This is why they come up with state workers called, and my state is called DIFUS, where if you actually harm a child or think you're going to harm a child or may even, have it in your voice to harm a child, they will come and snatch their property up. You have just made your child property when you sign that birth certificate. It belongs to the state. It is a ward to the state. Look up the word law and look up the word ward in a law dictionary. Stop playing with these little other dictionaries that they use in school. Please look up, go to Black Laws or Bouvier's Law Dictionary and look up these words. Don't look up these words in your regular dictionary because they're color-coded. All thing they're going to do is actually what they're going to do is give you a definition that fits what you're looking for. But when you go into court, you can't use that definition that was in that little dictionary that you used, the Webster or whatever. You better use a law dictionary, and the Bouvier's and the Black Law Dictionary is one of the dictionaries that they use throughout the United States in law. So get them dictionaries, look up the word ward, see what it means. Then you'll understand why your kid was warded to the state once you signed that birth certificate and gave that child a name. Now, with that being said, don't you think child support is a little over the top? maybe we should say a lot over the top. Because if you awarded your kid to the state, admitting when you signed that birth certificate that you were incapable of actually handling this child, weren't you admitting right then that you were not able to handle this? So why would you pay child support to a state that actually that child actually belongs to that state? But yet they want you to turn around and pay child support for something that belongs to them. You signed over the child to belong to them. Now, myself, I do have a child support case. And it's just arrears. I mean, I say it's just arrears, but, the sheriff also comes and gets you for arrears. They could put a warrant out for you just for arrears. The problem that I'm actually, I may open up a can of worms with this, but I don't care. I've always been that type of way. But the thing is that I'm actually going to sue the state for not only the arrears that they say I owe, but for the deceit and fraud that they pulled on me by making me think that this was my child all along. Because when I signed the birth certificate, I already gave up my rights for that to be my child. So I'm not actually thinking, I know that the state I was actually a foster parent. And what do they do with foster parents? The state pays you to take care of their property? So my thing would be is, why am I waiting to actually put a lawsuit against them for them owing me for taking care of their property for the so-called, what would we say, 18 years till the child is 18 years old? So my thing is that, brothers, we got to start waking up. Not only us, but we have to wake our sisters up too also, because the thing is that, we have our sisters out there, and here's why I'm looking at different communities and see why these communities are building up and doing their thing, because they're going to outweigh us. And I've always said this to people. They're going to outweigh us. They said, no, we will do ourselves off. We will actually extinct ourselves if we keep going at the rate that we're going. Now, they have already taken the family apart by creating this child support that takes the family apart. Oh, yeah, you missed 2 weeks of your payment, boom, that father goes to jail or that mother goes to jail. Therefore, you're apart from your family. That doesn't give them the stability that they need. Now, when you take a father away from a family, or you take a mother away from a family, what does that leave in these kids' minds when their mother and father are gone? I would think as they get older, I'm not sure in all cases, but I would think in some cases as they get older, they may not even want to have children. And here's how their plan is starting to get in our community. Because once you have kids not wanting to have kids, this is where we starting to become extinct. And that's the sad part about it, is that, some brothers and sisters got to look at it this way. They say, oh, well, if they don't take care of the kid and you need welfare, you need somewhere to stay, well, come on down to welfare and the state will do it. But then they go look to get reimbursed of the so-called finances that they gave you. And when they do that, they have to go after the other parent. Well, the other parent signed the birth certificate also. So we're telling you that we need finances to take care of your kids, basically because they're foster kids. If you look at it, real for real, because we signed the birth certificate explaining that we wanted to sign our rights over to the state, so the state can take care, so they can be state kids, state property, chattel property. So with that, my whole thing is that we gotta open our eyes and look that they're trying to actually make us extinct by us doing it ourselves. You got sisters out there, nope, I'm not going to have no baby until I'm married. Well, when you're married, you don't even understand that marriage license also bonds you and the womb also. You just bonded yourself with that because you just registered your marriage with the state of. So whatever comes out that womb, that state, the state still owns it. See? There's the tricks that they don't play with the bonds that they have going on with us. I mean, yeah, the bonds, they're going to fall, but hopefully by people, not being, people doing their homework, I would say. They ain't got no problems when the European tell them to do their homework. European tell them to do something, they ain't got no problems with doing it. But when the brother sits there, one of their own, nah, that brother can't know more than me. Nah, it's impossible. It ain't about anybody knowing more than anybody. It's about what I went through, and I'm just sharing. I went through this. I went through the system of child support. I've seen that there's no yarmulkes or beanies or whatever you want to say and the so-called Jews up in there. But yet, their ladies, where I'm at in a community right now, their ladies is pushing around 4 or 5 different kids, 4 or 5. They got 4 or 5 different kids and they still pregnant now. Same thing that goes on. I see also our brothers and sisters, which I call the Latinos, the so-called Latinos. They are the same way. No worries. But yet, we stress our sister's womb because why? Because they put this in our mind. They put this in our sisters' minds that man can't take care of you financially. That gets on to my other subject as I say that. You look at our credit. Don't you know once you get child support put on you, they get into your bank account, it's a wrap? They can shut down your bank account anytime they want. So how do you expect to go out here, and if you do get a job, and you do got to pay child support, and you do got to do this, and you do got to do that, how do you expect to keep your bank account afloat? To go get that so-called loan that you need to provide a house for your children and the lady who birthed them. How are you supposed to do that? This is why they did it. This is why they say, yeah, okay, you need help? Come on down here. Because they know how they're going to actually stop us from creating. I said, yeah, we'll put the scare tactic into them. Don't matter. They eat a lot of chicken. So they'll be scared right from they'll have fear in them right from the door. And we don't look at it no other kind of way. We don't look at the future. We're not looking at what we could do for the future. No, what we're looking at is, most of our women, what they got into our women right now, what they put into our women back in the day when they came over here is fear. And it's sad because our women are the strongest women on the planet. It wouldn't be this planet if it wasn't for them. That's the bottom line. But yet we scared of ourselves. We've been doing this since day one. I actually say women, our sisters, been doing this from day one. Our sisters, our mothers, our everything since day one. And yet we let an outside source come in and twist up our whole thing, and yet we won't sit there and fight nothing back about it because you scared. I ain't got time to be scared. You know what I mean? So if it takes me to get out there and put on the gloves and do the fighting for y'all, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put on the gloves and do the fighting because I ain't never been scared. Matter of fact, I'm looking for scared right now. Basically. Y'all don't want to see scared. You want to run. Let these people put that into us generations after generations. And yet, what do we have now? A bunch of scared asses that want to fight against each other. And yet these people out there rape, robbing, and stealing against your babies all day, every day. And a smile in their damn face because you think they can give you a job. You don't think that's disgusting? Smile in their face. I see people, brothers and sisters, all the time, and I'm saying hello to them. They don't even want to look me in the face like I'm an alien or something. And yet walk straight up to the European, a colonizer, rape robber, and will gladly shake their hand with a smile. And that's the man that's living, driving the Ferrari around that you got him. If I was him, I'd be smiling in your face too. Because you's a damn fool. And what's that old song that they said back in the day? I forgot who sang it, but they said, smile in your face. All the time want to take my place. Backstabbers. And yeah, you think that's your own people trying to do that to you, and it's them all along. Because they want to be in your place, but they can't. Because they ain't got the melanin in their skin as they got. That's why they keep trying to get rid of you, but they can't do it. Because they not original. And that's the bottom line. You're going to get rid of yourself. Because you scared of what they set up in their system. But you can get rid of their system. But you just got to do your homework to get rid of their system. So, on that note, 1969, Urhonor Radio. I'll be back on YouTube again. Y'all hit me up with your comments. Let me know what you think, and I will respond to them. Even if, you know, like I said, I'll respond to them right up on the video, on audio. I'll respond to them. See, and I'll be posting other things up on there too. But we got to get this right, and y'all better hurry up, because it ain't no joke. Islam. Peace.